Welcome to the Introduction to Yale Budgeting Tool training. We'll begin this session discussing how to best use this video and the resources available to you. Next, we'll describe what the Yale Budgeting Tool is. And finally, we'll describe 4 of the main modules available in YBT. This video is meant to provide a brief introduction into the Yale Budgeting Tool. It can be used as a first step when learning about YBT, or it can serve as a reference for those who have used the tool but may need a refresher. Depending upon your role, you may not use all of the YBT modules we describe in this video. You're welcome to view the entire training. It's not long. However, if you would like to skip to a particular section of the video, use the hyperlinks provided. There are many resources available to you on the YBT Yale Biz site. Access it via the address shown on the bottom of the screen. This page is also accessible via the Training Materials link on the left navigation bar of your YBT homepage. Some of the resources available include a complete user guide, along with videos and quick guides on many common processes in YBT. What is YBT? Simply, it's Yale's financial system for budgeting, forecasting, and financial management. YBT allows users to effectively and efficiently plan, budget, monitor, manipulate, and report on labor, financial, and grant planning data through a standard interface. To access YBT, navigate to the address on your screen. Click the Login to the Portal button in the upper right corner of the screen. Enter your NetID and password when prompted, and then click the Login button. The portal screen will refresh, displaying the list of applications and services you can access. Notice there are 2 different links available for YBT. Consult the Getting Started guide on the Training Materials page to understand the differences between the 2 links. Here, we'll be using the YBT Excel client. The YBT homepage displays. As we mentioned before, YBT has many modules which help you plan, budget, monitor, manipulate, and report on labor, financial, and grant planning data through this standard interface. There are 4 main modules within YBT, which we will discuss here: labor planning, financial planning, grant planning, and reporting. Access the modules via the toolbar shown above. Please note, the modules you will see are based on your permissions. For instance, if you don't do labor planning in your role, the labor planning icon will not display on your toolbar. First, we'll discuss the labor planning module. To skip to one of the other sections of the video, click the appropriate link. Remember, you can always fast forward or rewind the video using the video controls on the screen. To open the labor planning module, click the labor planning icon in the upper left-hand corner of the toolbar. Click on LP Working Plan. You will see a list of files to which you have access. Either single-click a file and choose the OK button, or double-click on a file name to open up the file. The labor plan has 2 tabs, the Employees tab and the Allocations tab. We'll start off in the Employees tab. It lets you manage information such as employee name, position, plan start and end date, the FTE percentage, and the FTE salary of the employee. Employees listed are grouped by job class: faculty, postdoctorates, managerial and professionals, clerical and technical, service and maintenance, students and casuals, followed by split-ins. In In YBT, your plan is built once a year. At that time, all current employees are added automatically, except for students and casuals. You will need to add them manually if appropriate. Throughout the year, you will adjust the labor plan whenever a new employee joins your department or when there are changes to existing employees. The Employees tab has two views, the Summary and the Detail view. The Summary view contains one row of data per person using the default column set. You can find a listing of the default column set in the Labor Planning Summary View section of the YBT User Guide. When you open the Labor Planning module, you'll see the Summary View automatically. I've highlighted the Summary View label in red above. The Detail view contains the same default list of columns as the Summary view, plus some additional columns and rows to allow you more granular control of your data. To switch to the Detail view, go to File Options on the toolbar, choose Change View, and select Detail View. Again, to view a listing of the default column sets, see the Labor Planning Summary View section of the YBT User Guide. The Allocations tab is where you charge employees to specific PTEOs as needed. On this tab, employees are listed alphabetically. First the home employees, followed by the split-in employees. The Other Salary Categories is located at the bottom of the Allocations tab. This section allows you to plan lump sum payments for items such as C&T overtime or S&M overtime, among others. Several of the common processes associated with labor planning are listed here. Visit the Training Materials page at the address listed on the screen to view videos and quick guides for many of these common processes. For additional information about the Labor Planning module or any of the items we described, consult the YBT User Guide or contact YBT Support. This is the end of the Labor Planning section. The Financial Planning section will start momentarily. However, if you prefer, choose one of the actions by clicking the appropriate button. In this section, we will discuss the Financial Planning module in YBT. The Financial Planning worksheet is called the Working Plan. PTEOs are displayed in blocks, as shown to the right. Each block displays information for one PTEO in the following rows: beginning balance, revenue, labor expense from the labor plans, non-labor expense, transfers, and finally an ending balance. Some of the columns available in the financial plan are displayed on the screen. Consult the YBT User Manual for a complete description of the columns available in the financial plan. For additional detail on the financial plan, including videos and guides on many of the common processes, visit the Training Materials page at the address displayed on the screen. You'll want to consult the User Guide, which is located on the Training Materials page, for details on many financial planning topics, including how to drill in YBT and the central load expense type codes. This concludes the financial planning overview. The grant planning overview section of the video will start next. To make a different choice, click one of the available buttons on the screen. In this section of the video, we'll describe the grant planning module in YBT. Grant budgets are entered in up to 10 installment columns in the grant plan. They can be planned to a few general expenditure type codes or to many expenditure types. Grant budgets will be posted nightly to the data warehouse. Data will be available the next day in the account holder report in the grant budget column. On this screen, I've displayed an example of a grant plan. Consult the Grant Planning section of the user guide to learn more about the Grant Planning module. Additionally, there are other training materials, videos, and quick guides available on the YBT Training Materials page at the address shown on the screen. Consult the user guide for details on topics such as grants and contracts and direct costs, as well as YBT projections within the Grant Planning module. This concludes the Grant Planning overview. The reporting section of the video will start next. To make a different choice, click one of the available buttons on the screen. In this section, we'll describe the reporting module available in YBT. There are three basic types of reports available: university submission, standard reports, and flexible reports. University submission reports are submitted to the Budget Office for forecasts and budget submissions. The standard reports have fixed rows and columns. Many of these reports were previously found in Excel-based workbooks, such as the Excel budget templates and the FTE workbooks. Flexible reports allow you to pull the data you need for your own analysis. You choose the time periods and the data to include. Bug reports, OFA, and/or FMT were historically used to receive this data prior to YBT. To open a report, click the Reports icon in the upper left corner of the toolbar. Choose YBT Report Library, and choose from the available folders. Please note, the list of folders you will see may be different from the ones displayed here. Clicking on a report in the Report Library opens the requested report. At first, there will be no data, just the headings for the rows and columns for the data points. This allows you to see what will be included in the report without waiting for the report to run and return data. If you discover you're looking for a different report, you can quickly navigate to it through the Reports Library. When you're certain you've opened the report you want to run, simply click the Refresh button on the Axiom ribbon. Clicking the Refresh button displays the Refresh Variables dialog box. This allows you to specify the parameters you want to use in your report. Here we see an example of the Refresh Variable dialog box where you'll select the parameters required for the report. For instance, choose to filter the report on a specific division or org using the first drop-down. In this particular dialog, we can identify how we want to group the data which is returned, and we can identify an award filter using this dialog. While the specific parameters identified in the Refresh Variable dialog box vary from report to report, you will always run reports using the same process. Open the report using the Reports Library, click the Refresh button to specify your parameters, and then click the OK button to run the report. The data is retrieved and the report is populated as shown here. Please note the report on the screen has been blurred to ensure anonymity. In this video, we've just scratched the surface when it comes to reporting. Consult the reporting section of the YBT user manual to learn about common processes in reporting, including the filter wizard, saving and exporting reports, and more. The YBT user manual can be found at the address linked at the bottom of the screen. We started off by reviewing how to use this video and other resources available to you. Next, we described the Yale budgeting tool and what it is. Finally, we discussed the main modules available in YBT, which include the labor, financial, and grant planning modules, as well as reporting. Thanks for your time today.